To another episode of the Armchair Commentary. My name is David Smith, and this week was a sad week for us Jays fans as the Toronto Blue Jays went all the way to game 162 and were unable to finish the season with a postseason berth. They ended up winning the final game of the season, but needed some help from either the Red Sox or Yankees, or both of them. And unfortunately, the Red Sox came back to win against the Nationals after being down in the seventh inning. So Jays fans had a bit of hope. And the Yankees managed to come back against the Tampa Rays, late inning heroics from Aaron Judge. And unfortunately, that means no playoffs for the Toronto Blue Jays. So we are here. The Red Sox face the Yankees. The Red Sox won their wild card match and are on to face the Tampa Rays. The Houston Astros are going to face the Chicago White Sox. That is underway right now. It is 6-1 White Sox, or 6-1 Astros, sorry, as I record this. Astros looking very good ahead of this. It is currently in the eighth inning, bottom of eight, 6-1 Astros. The Red Sox and Rays get underway later tonight. In the NL side, we have the Brewers and Braves and Dodgers and Giants. The Dodgers and Giants is an interesting series because, of course, both teams were 106 and 107 wins, so very good ball clubs. And the Braves and Brewers is interesting because we have an incredible team in the Braves, offensively gifted, but maybe not quite as good pitching-wise as the Braves of old. Of course, we're talking about having 3 Hall of Famers, so duh. I think that's probably going to be a very good series. It'll probably go all 5. I hope it'll go all 5. We'll see what happens. So yeah, baseball playoffs are underway. Dodgers walked it off yesterday. Chris Taylor hit a beauty 2-run home run, sprinted around the bases. Man was not taking any breaks. Over in the NFL, it's week 5. Playing fantasy, and you're like me, your record is not good. I cannot catch a break fantasy-wise, but also just game-wise, I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out what's going on. I don't know if it's parity in the league. I don't know if it's guys aren't performing up to snuff. I don't know what it is. Something is off about the league this year. It's different. I don't want to say it's off. It's not a bad thing. It's just different. Guys that are usually very good are not being very good. Guys who are typically cast-offs or gadget guys are incredible. Incredible. Cordero Patterson is en fuego. Perfectly ridiculous 3rd best running back in the NFL right now in fantasy. Cordero Patterson, right? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. The guy who was a kick returner mostly and occasionally did some other things, but that guy is the 3rd best running back in fantasy right now. So that should tell you exactly where the game is. Of course, there's some people that are playing very well. Aaron Rodgers is playing well. Matt Stafford is playing pretty well. Tom Brady's not playing so well, but the Buccaneers are basically winning games. So it's a weird season. It's a weird season. The week 5 games get underway tonight with the LA Rams and Seattle Seahawks playing. It is strange to think that week 5 is a must win for the Seattle Seahawks, but it is. The 2-2 Seahawks need this to stay afloat in this division. And they need to beat some competition that they're currently facing. It's tough when you have a tough schedule. Russell gets overshadowed, undersold a lot in this league. He does a lot for that team. He needs some help. He needs someone on that team to step up and do something and try to secure a win for him. Stafford's got Cooper Kupp stepping up. He's got Aaron Donald and that defense playing well. Darrell Henderson is back. I mean, they're a good team. They're a really good team. So I think that this is a must win for Seattle, if I'm being honest. Week 5 also brings back the London game, which is the Atlanta Falcons and New York Jets, speaking of Cordero Patterson. The Jets coming off a strange victory against the Tennessee Titans. Don't worry, Jets fans, I'm not upset. Let me get real close here. I love that you beat the Titans. I am so happy you beat the Titans. I don't like the Titans. Of course, you're my rival, but I don't like the Titans, and it's okay. You beat the Titans, and that's great. You have a winnable game here against the Falcons, Jets fans. I think you need to find a way to do it. If you're going to make anything of your season, this is one of the games. It's a perfect game for Zach Wilson to get some more touches, some more air under the ball, start testing some of those wide receivers. It may be a nice day to play a New York Jet wide receiver in daily fantasy. I know, it's food for thought, okay? Some other games that I'm interested in, obviously my Patriots are playing the Texans, still without Deshaun Watson, as he's just not going to play for them. I think it should be a decent game for Damian Harris, a nice bounce back game. Mac Jones has looked good. This should be a winnable game for the Patriots, but it's the NFL. The Jets beat the Titans. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The Buccaneers going against the Dolphins is not particularly interesting, but it'll be. I'll be curious to see how Brady responds after having a miserable game in the monsoon that was up in New England, having a nice game back in Florida. You know, in the retirement home communities. The Green Bay Packers and Cincinnati Bengals is a neat game because Joe Burrow has looked really good. And offensively, the Bengals have looked pretty solid. And the Packers have looked like the Packers of old. Aaron Rodgers on his revenge tour again. It could go either way. Honestly, it could. It could go either way. And I think that if you're looking at betting a dog, the Bengals might be the way to go here. Speaking of dogs, boy, Ben Roethlisberger. You got to know when to call it quits. And I think he's beyond his prime. The Steelers are playing Denver this week. Denver doesn't have Teddy Bridgewater, which is probably a saving grace for the Steelers, who need this win way more than the Broncos need it. But, and this is a big but, even Drew Lock can catch fire. And Ben can't hold the football to save his life. It also apparently, I guess, has a hip injury. So I'd be watching closely to see what happens that game. It's probably not going to be pretty at all. I don't think it'll be pretty at all. The Bears and Raiders, a little interesting, given the Bears defense has been pretty standout, and the Raiders have just come off getting crushed by the Chargers. So we'll see what happens in that game. It'll be it's an opportunity for Derek Carr to hush some haters. Realistically, he should have a bounce back game. But we'll see what happens. You never know. The Bears are known to be defensively stout. So we'll see what happens there. Cardinals looking to remain undefeated against San Francisco. I mean, this is the Trey Lance game, right? Like we're going to see what happens when you put another rookie under center. The Cowboys and the Giants will be, if the Giants don't win that game by a bunch, I'll be shocked. I'll be really shocked. The Cowboys should win that game by a ton. And then, of course, the Sunday nighter is probably the best game of the week. That's the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know that a lot of people, myself included, have been a little lower on the Chiefs than we have been in other years. I am a fan of Patrick Mahomes. I get a lot of grief for it, but I'm a fan of Patrick Mahomes. I think he's an excellent quarterback. The problem right now seems to be that the Chiefs are playing incredibly loose and shaky with the football, meaning whenever they get into formation, they're just scrambling around and guys are running left and right. Mahomes is just trying to find an open guy, and defenses are going to stop that. In fact, they have been. But again, Tyreek Hill is faster than everybody. How do you catch a cheetah? Well, you lay some traps. The Buffalo Bills have been incredible. They've got 2 shutouts this year. Only played 4 games. They've got 2 shutouts. Josh Allen has looked every bit of Josh Allen as he should the last 3 games. The first game was a bit of an anomaly, but and the second game, I guess, was more of a team win, but he's rounded into form really quickly. It is a Kansas City home game. I have a feeling the Chiefs will probably find a way to win it, but I'm really hoping it's one of those exciting games. The Chiefs defense, they can't stop anything. Their defense is not very good at all. Unfortunately, their defense needs help badly. And Josh Gordon isn't going to do it since he's on offense. We'll see what happens in this game. I've got Kansas City winning, but not by much. And it wouldn't shock me if you told me Buffalo won. I wouldn't be surprised. It is definitely going to be a game I'm going to be talking about Monday morning. If you don't already know and you're not already checking me out, Monday morning I am on the Colorcast app. Colorcast is an app available on iPhone. I will leave a link in the video and or podcast description, and you can check me out there. Download the app. Every Monday morning, I recap the week's games that happened, minus the Monday nighter. And you can jump in, you can chat with me, we can talk, you can ask me questions, you can inject your own opinions. It is very interactive, very fun, and you definitely want to check it out. Colorcast App is the name of the app. And again, I am live every Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Atlantic. For those wondering. Last but not least, just wanted to touch on something that's coming up. The NHL is starting again, and I will be doing some preseason rankings, some way too early predictions, may do a panel show, I'm not sure yet, but there's a lot happening in the NHL right now. Excuse me, a lot happening in the NHL right now, and it is it's a lot. It's too much to cover in just a quick snippet. If you enjoy my content or you're new here, it would do me the most amount of honor if you would leave me a like, maybe subscribe to the videos. If you are listening to this on audio, if you could leave me a review wherever you downloaded this from, that would be incredible. Don't forget to connect with me on social media. It has been a crazy week in the world of sport. Can't wait to do it again next week. Sorry, Jays. Sorry, Jays. All right. It has been a fun week. Talk soon. Stay safe.